Gentlemen, you get in a place and time in your life and you try to put things behind you. You try to let go of things. And oftentimes you're going to find people that tell you it's real easy to forget the past when it hurts, when the burdens of it are heavy. But by God, we've carried that burden of last season for 8 months now. And it's time to let it go. It's time to lay it down. It's the burdens of last season that have built the character that you take the field with tonight. The attitude, the personality that you take the field with tonight. Absolutely no fear. Absolutely no doubt. You play this game the way Black and Gold built it. You play it with heart. You play it with attitude. You play it with a personality. It's not talent. It's not ability. It's something inside that says when it gets hard, I'm going to stand up. When I can't, somebody's there to pick me up. If I can't do it, he's got it for me. Because we're all in. It's one common purpose, and nobody stands alone. Don't you play with any doubt. This first step starts tonight. This journey starts tonight. You're holding the seed of faith in your heart, and that's how you play. That's how you play this game. You play it with faith because you've got men sitting beside you. Men you know you can count on. Brothers that are willing to step up and fight just for you. To humble themselves, lift you up, and let you be seen. That's how we play. We play real. We play this game real. When they leave tonight, when those people coming in to challenge you leave tonight, you make sure they leave hurt. You make sure they leave broken. And you make sure they leave back undone. And when your crowd leaves, you make sure they leave with a taste inside that says, I can't wait for the next one. Get it! Let it go! Yeah, Johnny. Break down! Break down! Break down! 1, 2, 3!
Feel it coming in the air. Hear the screams from everywhere. I'm addicted to the thrill.
I'm ready.
It's a dangerous love affair. Can't be scared when it goes down. Got a problem? Tell me now. Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight. Who's gonna run this town tonight? We gonna run this town.
We are, yeah, I said it, we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance. Get your fatigues on. All black, everything. Black cars, all black, everything. And our girls are blackbirds, riding with they diligence. I get more in depth if you boys really real enough. This is not familiar, I'll explain later. But for now, let me get back to this paper. I'm a couple bands down and I'm trying to get back. I gave Doug a grip, I lost a flip for 5 stacks. Yeah, I'm talking 5,6 zeros, got zeros. Here the back to running circles round. Now we squared up, hold up.
Life's a game, but it's not fair. I break the rules, so I don't care. So I keep doing my own thing. Walking tall against the rain. Victories within the mile. Almost there, don't give a damn. Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
We are, you can call me Caesar, in a dark Caesar, please follow the leader, so Eric B. we are, microphone fiend, it's the return of the God, peace God, it ain't nobody fresher, I'm in Mason, Martin Margiela on the table screaming, the other side they jealous, we got a banquet full of bras, they got a table full of fellas, yeah, and they ain't spinning no cake, they should throw their hand in, cause they ain't got no space. My whole team got dough, so my bank account is looking like millionaires, bro.
Life's a game, but it's not fair. I break the rules, so I don't care. So I keep doing
you could go from being Joe Blow to everybody you know. I bought my whole family whips, no Volvos. Next time I'm in.
Skyhawk fans, and welcome to another edition of Skyhawks Sports Radio Network, the first edition of Black and Gold Radio. We're here, it's game week, everyone's excited. Team, coaching staff, I'm sure the fan base is just as excited. Coach Griff, you had the two grids 2 weeks ago. You'd had the Cardinal Conference grid. What did you see from your team playing the teams that seeing the teams that you're going to see throughout the year and playing a team that you will play throughout the year?
Yeah, that's a great day because you do get a chance to see 7 of the opponents you're going to face that season. And in all honesty, most coaches probably didn't show a whole lot, and they're still moving a lot of people around. But you get a chance to see their basic offense, their basic defensive packages. Our focus at that point in time was on, Hoover and Chapmanville being our first 2 conference opponents. And then as far as our approach to that game, that's an exploration game. We're not trying to move chains, score points, and win. We're trying to move people, change personnel, and create opportunities where we can learn, figure out if our schemes are working, and figure out if the personnel we have is in the right places. And I think we found a lot of answers that week. We were excited about it and saw some good stuff and saw some things we needed to adjust.
Now, we seen last week where you played Sherman and Van. We're not playing them anymore this year. We haven't played them a couple of years now. What was the atmosphere like for your players to be able to play the other teams in the county, to show what they can do and try to up one on the other teams in the county?
Absolutely. Boone County's proud of football, and it always has been. And the Scott-Sherman rivalry was the last one there. And that's kind of, in a regular season matchup, that's gone because they can't give us AA points. And as a coach, I've got to pursue those playoff points. But the Boone County Grid, when we established it, is a great chance for a football Friday in Boone County. I've seen class reunions at the Boone Grid. It's a great opportunity for all 3 communities to come together. Last year we honored coal miners. This year it was veterans. So it's just a great atmosphere and experience, and it really becomes more than a football game. It becomes a community event and a county-wide event. It was a great opportunity for us to work some different players in different roles, move people around and see them in opportunities that we might not have a chance to see later on in the season and find some things out. I thought our guys executed clean. I thought they played well, and it looked like we were progressing along in a good way to get prepared for this week. And it's a great night for the Sherman and Van communities to play us and experience somewhat still that rivalry. I know when I was in school and you guys were in school, in all sports, those games were still big rivalries. So it's a good night to still accommodate that.
Coach, there was one big injury in the Cardinal Conference grid. Is that something you all may need to look at going in, or is that just part of football?
You never know when those injuries are going to happen. That was a terrible injury for a senior. One of the things that I've tried to keep in mind with that first scrimmage is to not let it become a game atmosphere. That's where the 10-play script kind of helps out. But when these young men are out there playing the game, they start hitting, that adrenaline starts to get going. It's difficult to pull that intensity back. It's unfortunate. And you just try to hope that those moments don't happen, but unfortunately sometimes they do. I think as a coaching staff, we really limit and chart the number of plays that are what we feel at that point in time starters get. If that kid's slated as a starter, you just need to see his timing. You just need to see him 3 or 4 snaps. It's that backup that you want to see rep because he's the one you're still not sure about. But that was early on in that game.
Yeah, so playing those pretty much exactly the same way the NFL does their preseason. Starters are out early in the first couple of games and see more reps later on in the year.
Absolutely.
As we said, this is game week. It's the first game of the season. You hit on it in the preseason show. This was a game that kind of got away from you last year. Hoover's going to come in hungry because, just as you said, it's a new thing for them. They beat you all, and they're going to come in hungry, looking to knock you guys off. What have you told your team leading up to this game?
This is a big week, and week 1 always is, but
this year more than anything, because it's a different feel for us. We're not the team that won last year. We're not the team that's won for the last decade. Hoover's coming in with playoff hopes, and last year and a couple of years before they weren't. So we're going to see a team that comes in confident, comes in aggressive. They're returning probably 9 to 10 starters, so we're going to see a team that knows exactly what they want to do. They're already probably what most teams would be like at week 5 or 6. So that's a huge challenge for us. But I think more importantly than anything, this game's about an attitude, about our young men understanding that this season's about finishing things. It's not, winning the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter doesn't give you points. You've got to win the game. And I'm excited to see these young guys step up and take the leadership role.
You hit on it there. What do you expect from Hoover this week, from a schematic standpoint?
Well, they're going to line up with an offensive line that looks about like you two. But there's 5 of them. And they're experienced. They've been together for 3 years. So they're excited about that. And they've got a tailback that's a tremendous player. He's a hard downhill runner. He doesn't dance. He's north to south. He's a strong, mature kid. And we've got to meet that. We've got to plug gaps. We've got to play downhill. I think the key to it, and what I've told our guys, is our offense has to control the time of possession. Last year, when we were having success at Hoover, we were driving the field, and we were controlling the time of possession. The second half, we had 4 3-and-outs in a row, and you're going to lose to Hoover in that situation because they're going to pound on you.
Okay, what about the overall outlook of your team? Do you like where they are going into week 1, or is there still some stuff that you need to clean up? Or
I like the atmosphere. I like the character and attitude. I don't know yet about the schemes, and I don't know yet about the personnel. I think I've got an idea, and I'm excited about it. I think we've continued to make adjustments and continue to not rest on success. We made a lot of adjustments after Friday's Boone Grid. We changed the scheme up a little bit more. And I feel like as a coaching staff, we're really close to putting it exactly where it needs to be, and I'm hoping this week it is.
All right, you heard it right there from Head Coach Shane Griffith. When we come back, we're going to hear from Nick Shreve, one of the assistant coaches, one of the defensive guys. And make sure you come out. Reminder, Friday night for the first home game. Coach, thanks. Appreciate
it, guys.
This broadcast is brought to you by Boone County Sheriff Randall White. The Skyhawks Sports Radio Network and the Skyhawks baseball team appreciate Sheriff White's contributions to the county and this broadcast. Sheriff Randall White says, "Go Skyhawks."
And we're back with Assistant Coach Nick Shreve. Coach, you've had a couple weeks to prepare for it. You've seen a couple different offenses. You're coming into Hoover. What do you expect on the defensive side of the ball to get from Hoover?
Well, they are who they are. They're going to line up. They're big up front. They're going to line up, and they're just going to kind of try to come downhill straight at you. Just power football. Pretty much the same type of offense they've been trying to build the last 3-4 years, ever since Coach Meyer took over there.
We know Hoover has a pretty good stud of a running back. Is there any type of new schemes that you're putting in this week to try to block off more of the run than what you would protect in the pass?
Well, especially in Double-A football, in Southern West Virginia, you got to stop the run first anyways. The majority of teams down this way don't have a big-time quarterback. They don't have the receivers and the athletes out there. Their studs are in the backfield. It's pretty much smash-mouth football, every team we play down here. So, I mean, as far as the scheme has gone, we switched up some things from the Grid-O-Rama, the first grid, against Mingo. We went from a 3-front to a 4-front. Try to create a little, try to put some more athletes on the field to kind of try to run down. Big guys up front trying to block, basically take up gaps and blocks, let the linebackers fly around, make plays.
You hit on it there for a little bit. The grids, did you see what you needed to see from your defense coming into week 1 of those two? I know last week you were able to get a lot of penetration. You may have not have seen the skill level that you're going to see this week, but it did seem like you got a lot of penetration, especially from that defensive front. Is that something you're liking so far, or is there some stuff you still need to work on?
Yeah, I mean, we always got to keep working on it. But it's like I told these guys, these guys aren't the same competition you're going to see week in and week out, especially in the Cardinal, because it's tough. But I told them just to focus on, doing their job, staying low, getting penetration, just trying to keep cleared up for the linebackers. And as far as the last grid went, I thought we did that really well. We missed a lot of tackles early on, but I think once everybody calmed down and kind of, everybody comes out, they're all hyped up. They're just flying around trying to knock people out. And then once they settled down, started breaking down, we started setting the ball down and looked pretty good defensively. The first grid against Mingo, there were some guys that we were moving around different spots. But I think we've cleaned it up a lot and should look a lot better this week coming.
One thing I want to know, and I'm sure the viewers do too, is what can we expect of the Black Hammer this year?
A lot more than last year for sure. We got some guys up front, some new guys that came in, some old guys that's been here, stepping it up. We got some guys that's going to be out for a couple weeks, but whenever they come back, we're expecting a lot of big things out of them. But overall, I think the defense this year should look a lot better. We're going to be flying around, laying some hits, and mostly setting it down and getting off the field, getting off the offense back on the field.
Most of the time, that first ball game, it doesn't take a lot to get your team amped up. What's going to be your message, especially to the defense, to maybe bring them down just a tad and make sure that they're ready for come that night for Hoover's offense?
Well, the main thing is they just got to remember, for the guys that were here last year, which the guys that played last year and the guys that were in the stands last year that came out this year, they saw what happened. We came out, we were flying high, looking good, setting everything down. Then later on in the game, they just started shoving us around and driving the ball down our throat. And I mean, to me, to just about anybody as a football player, you'd rather, a team drop back and throw the ball and put up 100 points on you as opposed to getting beat by a touchdown when they just line up and come straight downhill at you every time. I mean, it's embarrassing to get ran over top of like that at any level.
All right, you heard it right there from Assistant Coach Nick Shreve. We appreciate you watching this edition of Black and Gold Football. And as we said, make sure you come out Friday night for the first home game and cheer on your Scott Skyhawks. Thanks for watching.